All right. Next question's coming from Randy. He said, what are the risks of being a syndicator?
The risk of being a syndicator is you don't know what you're doing, and you buy the wrong property, or you actually promise the investors, which is the biggest mistake usually people make, is they either don't comply with the SEC rules because nobody trained them, or they created a structure that overpays investors so they get themselves in trouble. And the reason for those mistakes is because when you go to an SEC attorney and say, I want to set up a real estate fund, the real estate attorney will grab a pen and a paper and say, okay, what do you want in it? And if you say, well, what do you think? The attorney is going to say, I can't tell you because you're setting up the fund and it's going to be a liability for me if something goes wrong. You tell me what you want, how much you want to raise, what you want to pay out, how often, what if somebody wants out, what regulation you want. And an attorney is not going to sit one-on-one, give you a training at $500 an hour. They actually try to sell the package at 25 or 30,000 and say, this is what we do with the template, this is the disclosure, we submit it here and there. Well, we do it all for 25,000, including the training, and are helping you avoid these problems, because number one problem that you see now, and is going to come more and more this year, we'll talk about it, is those who overpromise the investors. Oh, I'll give you 12%, I'll give you 15 IRR, which internal rate of return, which is the hardest to calculate. And now what's happening is they can't even refinance these apartment buildings and they have defaults, etc. There was actually somebody sent me from Facebook, they just foreclosed on 3 properties in Michigan where the syndicator overpromised. And he had a 3% interest rate. How can you default on 3% interest rate? But then the SEC had to step in and they returned a portion of what these people invested. So syndicator, if they don't know what they're doing with the debt, they don't know how to raise the capital properly, or don't follow SEC rules, those are the 3 mistakes and risks they run into. We do that training. At minimum, if you don't want us to help you set up the fund, at minimum, take the training that we've done. We've done 2 days trainings, etc. And probably I'll do another live training sometime later this year. Speaking of trainings, can I plug in something here? So on April 29th, is it the 29th, Ashley?
Yes.
On Saturday, I'm going to do a 1-day training on syndications in Fort Lauderdale at the Marriott something or another. Anyway, in Fort Lauderdale. Wherever you are in the country, it's worth it. I'm going to do it at $695 only for the whole day. I mean, an hour with me on the phone is $500, but I'm going to give you a full day of training on all the word definition of the funds, how to structure a fund, how to do a business plan, why you would need a fund, how to manage a fund. I'll even show you how to pitch from a platform. And that 1 day is going to be in Fort Lauderdale at the Marriott. Email Ashley at ashley@cmrei.com. You all have her email anyway, if you're interested in this. I've never done it as cheap as this. We already have 15 people that signed up just from when I went to Fort Lauderdale to speak. The main subject was about funds. People asked, we got the date, we presented the date, and we said, this is what it is. Come over, we'll do it. And we have 15 people. I don't want more than 50 so I can take enough questions and all this. And I think after, what is it, 1.5, almost 2 years, no live trainings, that will be a lot of fun to spend the whole day together. And we'll probably have a working lunch, so it will be very intensive, 8.5, 9 hours.